Welcome to Histology. Throughout history, people around the globe have shared tales of their origins. Tales of heroes and monsters, love and heartbreak, endings and rebirth. Mythology guided the old world, explaining what seemed impossible. This is Histology Channel. In a distant kingdom long ago, there was a merchant, his wife and their daughter, Vasilisa. When the girl turned 8, her mother fell terribly ill and was near death. On her deathbed, Vasilisa's mother gave her a final blessing and a small Motanga doll. But it was no ordinary child's toy. She told her daughter to guard it closely and reveal it to no one, not even her dear father. And whenever the girl found herself in sorrow or danger, she was to feed the doll. Then it would comfort her, guide her, and help her handle any troubles. With these final words, Vasilisa's mother passed away. The girl followed her mother's advice and fed the doll. As if touched by magic, it spoke gentle words to help her cope with grief. After a long mourning period, longer than anyone expected, the merchant thought about taking a new wife, for both companionship and Vasilisa's well-being. He had many admirers, for he was a good and pleasant man despite his age. Yet he soon chose a fine widow who had 2 daughters slightly older than Vasilisa. He reasoned she would be an excellent mother to his girl, given her own experience. But once he wed her, she turned out to be far from kind. In his absence, the new wife treated Vasilisa harshly. The girl's remarkable beauty and gentle nature, which grew more each day, drew the admiration of everyone in town. This angered her jealous stepmother and stepsisters beyond reason. So when the merchant was away, the cruel woman loaded Vasilisa with endless chores, hoping she would grow weak and lose her shine to the sun and wind. Yet no matter how hard they tried, Vasilisa only became lovelier and more joyful each day, while their own bitterness made them seem uglier. They couldn't understand it. How could she handle so many chores without any sign of struggle? In fact, Vasilisa was aided each day by her mother's doll, which she fed from her small meals, and it helped her complete her huge list of tasks. As the years went by, Vasilisa grew into a young woman, earning the title Vasilisa the Beautiful. Before long, many men sought to marry her, but her furious stepmother forbade her to wed before her own daughters. Eventually, the merchant went off for business and would be gone for quite a while, though he promised to return soon. While he was away, the family moved to a new home situated uncomfortably close to a huge, thick forest, so dense that midday felt like dusk. Deep within those trees dwelled Baba Yaga, a terrible witch known for her magic and dreadful cruelty, feared by everyone nearby. Unsurprisingly, Vasilisa's wicked stepmother sent her into those woods nearly every day to gather mushrooms, herbs, and anything else, hoping the witch might seize and consume her. But the doll always watched over Vasilisa, helping her navigate the shadows and avoid Baba Yaga. When autumn arrived, the angry stepmother shifted her approach, assigning night tasks, one daughter to weave lace, another to knit stockings, and Vasilisa to spin flax. Then she put out all the household fires except for a single candle left with the girls before she went to sleep. As the candle burned low, a stepsister used tongs to adjust it, but accidentally snuffed it out. The stepsisters turned on Vasilisa and drove her from the house, ordering her to get fire from the wicked forest witch. With the doll's soothing words and guidance, Vasilisa headed into those grim woods, toward a place from which no one ever returned. As she walked and dawn neared, she spotted a rider clothed all in white, and his horse and gear were equally snowy white. As he raced by her, the morning light began to spread. Soon after, another rider appeared, this one dressed in red and riding a steed as bright as flame. When he dashed past her, the sun stood high in the sky. She traveled all day, and by dusk reached a strange hut perched on chicken legs, encircled by a fence made of human bones crowned with skulls. Frozen by terror, Vasilisa watched as a third rider suddenly stormed by, this one in black on a mighty black horse. He vaulted over the bone fence and disappeared just as night descended, and the skull's eyes lit up with a haunting glow. Frightened beyond words, Vasilisa could not move, and before she could think, a wild noise emerged from the woods, revealing Baba Yaga in her mortar. Sensing the presence of a mortal girl, the witch demanded to know what kind of fool would walk into sure doom. Bowing low, Vasilisa told her about her mission to bring fire back to her step-family. Then Baba Yaga made her an offer. If Vasilisa finished several chores for her, she could return home with the precious fire. But if she failed even one task, the witch would slay her and feast upon her. The next dawn, once the white and red riders had rushed by, Baba Yaga told Vasilisa to tidy the hut and yard, wash dishes and clothes, prepare a meal, and sort a quarter bucket of wheat to remove all black grains, finishing before her return or be her meal. The witch then left, and with the doll's help, Vasilisa finished everything before the black rider arrived and Baba Yaga came back. The witch was both surprised and displeased, but merely called upon her loyal servants, 3 sets of bodiless hands, to grind the wheat and carry it away. On the following day, the pattern repeated. At dawn, after the white and red riders rode by, Baba Yaga ordered the same duties, but also told Vasilisa to pick poppy seeds from clumps of dirt. Again, Vasilisa and her doll got it all done quickly, astounding and vexing the witch when she came back after the black rider, and once more she summoned her bodiless hands to press oil from the poppy. That night, while they ate, Baba Yaga offered the frightened girl a chance to ask questions, cautioning that not all questions yield good outcomes. So Vasilisa asked about the 3 strange riders who appeared in the forest at set times each day. Baba Yaga told her the white rider stood for the bright daybreak, the red rider for the blazing sun, and the black rider for the deep night, each serving the witch. Though tempted to learn more about the riders and the floating hands, the doll trembled in her pocket, advising her not to press further. Then Baba Yaga had her own query. How could a simple girl accomplish so much so quickly? Vasilisa answered that her mother's blessing guided her daily. Disgusted by any mention of a blessed presence, Baba Yaga dismissed Vasilisa at once, handed her a glowing skull from the fence, and told her to leave. Vasilisa headed home, using the skull's eerie light to guide her at night, which dimmed only by day. Upon reaching her stepfamily's house, she thought about discarding the skull, but a faint voice from within it urged her to bring it inside. Her stepfamily welcomed her warmly, for the first time, since no flame in their home would burn for long, not even one borrowed from neighbors. But maybe the fire from Baba Yaga's skull would endure. The instant she set the skull in the main room, its eyes shone fiercely, searing her stepfamily where they stood until only ash remained. At last, Vasilisa was free from her cruel stepfamily. She buried the skull in the ground, as it advised, and journeyed to the capital to search for her father. There she stayed with a gentle old woman, spinning flax into exquisite cloth, always aided by the enchanted doll, and her work soon drew the Tsar's attention, who wished to meet the gifted weaver. When Vasilisa met the Tsar, they fell in love at once. Before long, they were joyfully wed, and her father finally came back into her life. Thus, Vasilisa the Beautiful lived happily ever after, always accompanied by the faithful doll that never left her side.